take a look at this clip. Yeah, that's a lot of NIO. So guys, we got another juicy video to talk about. Of course, we got insurance registrations, NIO 4,100, Envo 1,800. Actually pretty nice, all right? We're over 5,000 and we're on pace to potentially, and if this keeps up, we could get to maybe 30,000 deliveries this month. But there is one big secret, all right? Bulk sales. Probably heard it from the title of the video and the thumbnail. What's going on with that? We'll talk about that. It's very exciting. But what we're seeing right now is that Envo is picking up pace, right? And Envo CEO says we're on track to deliver 10,000 vehicles for Envo by December. So that's very, very nice. And we got to take his word for it. And he's working hard. Some days he's spending the days at the factory, sort of like Elon Musk style, staying there to make sure everything goes well and smooth. He doesn't want to lose his job, and he's made that guarantee that we're going to get 10,000 deliveries. By him staying at the factory gives me pretty high confidence that they're actually going to achieve it. And of course, I'm seeing a lot of Envos on the road nowadays here in Beijing, and also the delivery center. Lots of cars being delivered there as well. So very, very nice. Envo is definitely picking up steam. That's something to be happy about, okay? NIO also, I think this month we're going to get guaranteed high deliveries with the crazy incentives. Never before seen. They've kept the incentives the same pretty much for the past, I guess, almost a year through the entirety of 2024. But now they just juiced everything up by 2x, basically. The incentives are double what they were before, basically. So very, very nice looking. Even all the NIO owners here, existing NIO owners, are like, damn, bought the car too early. Some people that just recently bought the car, they're like, damn, bought it too early. But yeah, it shows that those incentives are very, very nice. So I'm very optimistic, of course, with bulk deliveries. Take a look at this clip. Yeah, that's a lot of NIO. These are all bulk sales to be exported. Where? You gotta tie things together. This is all going to Azerbaijan. It's an export bulk sale to Azerbaijan apparently. And what's different is when we made that Azerbaijan video, expansion into Azerbaijan, people were like, what the hell? I never even heard of that country. What's going on with that? And some people were like thinking NIO's out of their minds expanding to Azerbaijan. And to be honest, in no real there's no real understanding why NIO would go into Azerbaijan, except for the fact that it's a dealer. All right, understand that it's a franchise. All right, if you think about countries to go into, Turkey would be a better first option than Azerbaijan. It's really close to Azerbaijan, but it's a much bigger country, more population and much more wealth, so to speak. So Turkey would be a more logical expansion target than Azerbaijan, but it's because there's a company called Green Car in Azerbaijan that's acting as basically a franchise or a dealer, so to speak. They're going to bring NIO stuff into the country and buy a bunch of NIO cars from NIO and sell NIOs in Azerbaijan. They got that exclusive deal. They're going to be the only ones that will be selling NIOs in Azerbaijan. And it's NIO didn't want to expand into Azerbaijan. I think everybody knows that. It's very clear. It's these guys, the Green Car guys, they want the products in their country, and they're willing to buy a ton of those products, a ton of the NIO cars to bring into the country. So very nice that we're seeing these bulk sales. I mean, when you look at that clip, it puts a smile on your face, right? You see how many cars are there being exported. Pretty nice. And of course, NIO is still doing very good B2B sales here in China, okay? Bulk sales as well. I've seen a lot of live streams where there are not NIO live streams, all right? These are live streams from other auto dealerships and people that are selling cars, but they sell all sorts of cars, and they're also trying to sell NIOs. And these are not secondhand NIOs. These are brand new NIOs. So you're also seeing a lot of that. And what's really interesting about that is that these guys, they have their own connections, they have their own customer base, and most of these guys are in some of the smaller cities where NIO's sales performance have traditionally been a bit weaker. All right, NIO sales are more concentrated in the bigger cities, especially around Shanghai, and in those smaller tier 4, tier 5 cities, you basically barely see any action. So, NIO does have to sort of depend on these guys to move cars, to sell cars. And they have their own customers, and with that, they got their own, the sales reps got their own connections. And of course, that also helps them sell a lot of cars. And of course, the other trick that people are doing, not just NIO, other car companies as well, like Li Auto, etc., is of course selling to secondhand dealers for a bulk sale at a small discount, so that they can then, the secondhand dealer can then sell to their customers at a slightly lower price than if they were to buy it directly from NIO. So, of course, it's a secondhand, but it's called a brand new secondhand car. And of course, some of the privileges might be different, but of course, that also helps NIO move cars. They also helps NIO sell cars. So this is very, very nice. And of course, NIO MENA. All right, even though it's NIO in Europe, it's NIO MENA. It's the Middle Eastern new company. It's a new company actually. All right, it's NIO company, but it's a sort of like NIO owns a bit of that, and then CYVN also owns a bit of that. It's NIO MENA. They are, in the UAE. They also have to bring cars in from NIO and buy cars from NIO, so to speak. So that's also going to be interesting if that boosts deliveries. So we're seeing with insurance registrations, that's just, on paper, a portion. All right, even though albeit a big portion of NIO's sales and deliveries, there are also sales in Europe, all this bulk sale to Azerbaijan, maybe some sales to UAE, and then you also have these kind of bulk sales to secondhand dealers, and also these live streamers, that kind of stuff. So there's all sorts of ways that they're moving out cars, etc. And what I'm seeing in general right now is the reception is still very good towards NIO here in China. This new incentive policy has really enlightened everybody. It's re-invoked interest. People that really need to get a car by the end of this year, they're choosing to buy a NIO. That's very nice because of the incentive policy. And sometimes some of these guys have subsidies for their local cities, and they want to get their car before the subsidy runs out. So might be a good choice to buy a NIO, and potentially even some Envo buyers, right? Envo buyers, if it takes too long for them to get their Envo vehicle, and even though they're ramping up very hard, it might be worth it to just upgrade to a NIO, right? It might just be worth it. So that's what's going on. Bulk sales are very nice, and I hope they sell more of these. And I hope, we got more of these franchises in all sort of countries, different countries around the world. You got franchises here, franchises there. That's really going to help NIO, and also ease the burden of operation. NIO doesn't have to pay for anything there, right? NIO just has to sell cars to the Azerbaijan Green Car Group, and then they can sell the cars to whoever they want to sell to sell it to. So that's very, very nice, and I hope they do more of this, more of these like national franchising, so to speak, in different countries. That would be very nice, and I'm sure people will want to fight for the exclusive rights to sell that vehicle in their country, and they would probably be willing to pay top bucks in order to get that. That would be pretty nice. Well, so yeah, deliveries, good, picking up. We want to see higher numbers. Hopefully next week we can see NIO get to the 6,000, 7,000-ish range with Envo, and that will put us on track to meet delivery expectations. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.